We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Kader Kohou, Miami Dolphins corner, and he's probably been the best DB this past 2 weeks for the Dolphins. He's actually been playing like lights out these past 2 weeks. Was amazing versus the Texans, and then obviously versus the Niners had the game-sealing pick. Didn't really have any like negative plays throughout as well. Was just playing like solid football, just doing his job over and over in these last 2 games, making dynamic plays versus the screen game. That's always been a big strength of his, and just being like really smart. I think, playing disciplined football, making plays in man and zone. I think he's always been comfortable man corner throughout his career, but last year he kind of struggled playing more in the zone match scheme. So seeing him make, solid plays this time around, I think, is a good sign for him. Kohou is a restricted free agent, so definitely a guy that I could see being brought back, maybe being your 3rd, 4th corner next year. But Kohou playing very strong these final 2 weeks, and has just been better, I think, in the second half of the season, like overall in general. But definitely the past 2 weeks have been like very, very good football from him, considering even like the rest of the secondary has not been playing well. So we'll break down some of this film, go back to this first play. The interception, really good play from him. Obviously gets a little bit of help from the defensive lineman up front, but they motion this Debo in. They go to Tampa 2, so they're disguising their coverage here. They go to Tampa 2. This means he's a vertical hook defender. Like he's the seam hook. Over here, this guy's also playing as like a seam hook, and then Walker is like the Tampa 2 Mike linebacker who's playing in the deep middle of the field, carrying down vertically. And then the whole thing here is they're trying to get this to get carried out vertically by number 3, and then you throw the dig behind into this space. And usually Kohou would be threatened by the guy underneath, but he understands the weaknesses of this coverage. He stays patient. He gains depth. Sees that this guy the corner duck can take Kittle, so he gains depth and then floats to the inside too, understanding like that's where the weakness of the coverage is going to be. So this is just great instincts. He's also just reading Purdy the whole way, and Purdy gets hit and then comes away with the interception. So just gaining really, really good depth on the play, leveraging multiple routes at the same time, and understanding situation too, because they're trying to get the ball down the field, win the game. That kind of closes it out. Really, really good work. Here, down in the red zone, just good man-to-man coverage. They try to hit the out on him, and he just placed their hands, knocked the ball out of Mechie's hands right there. Mechie's, pretty good router and gets physical with him too. And Kohou's able to recover, get back in, stick with it the whole way. Like, he knows this route's coming. He doesn't even peek. Like, once he gets, like, right there, maybe the ball can get completed. But he knows, like, ball's probably coming his way. He doesn't even look for it. He just plays through their hands the entire time, knocks it out. Physical at the catch point. Love seeing that. And especially because I think the week before this versus the Jets, he gave up a touchdown to Devontae Adams on a similar route. So being able to bounce back, respond, understanding situation, that's like a big time thing for a corner. Because when you're playing, corner is one of the harder, and he's like playing nickel. And I think nickel is one of the most valuable positions in the NFL when they're on the field, because they're involved in so many different aspects of the game, and they're more involved in the run defense of it because they get involved in run fits. But like you have to cover really a lot horizontally, like side to side. There's more room horizontally. You have more help vertically over the top, but horizontally, you got to be able to get out there, and he makes a play on that out route. Really, really good stuff. Especially playing man-to-man as corner in the NFL is just one of the most difficult jobs. You're going to have your losses. I love this play from Kohou. This is one of my favorite plays from him. Obviously, they get a quick win up front, but this is something I feel like we haven't seen from the Dolphins. When they go zone, it feels like they go very soft. This is a 3rd and short situation, like it's 3rd and 3. I feel like they usually go soft in zone, but like, and he gets hands on Schultz, so he redirects, disrupts the route timing, and then passes off Schultz down the field, and then finds the other receiver to then leverage and, redirect, get hands on, squeeze, and not give up anything easy to Robert Woods. This is what I really like about this, like disrupting, throwing off the route timing. No easy catches given to this side of the field because Kohou gets physical, redirects, helps his guys get in better position, and then also takes away the other receiver that works into his zone, and then carries it, once the guy works out of it because he understands late into the play. Basically, it just turns into man-to-man. I love that type of play from Kohou. I feel like that's something you need to see more of out of your nickel defenders and your safeties when they're coming up. Playing down as like your flat defender. Really redirecting, squeezing routes, especially in those situations. So good understanding. And then just versus screens, he's been outstanding this year. Looks like, Dolphins are going to rotate into some type of 2 invert type of coverage. They bring some, bring 4. Kohou's up playing like a press, but once he sees Nico first step back like that, look at him respond. Boom, just great reactive athleticism. to the point of attack where he can beat Robert Woods from blocking him, but also while getting blocked, still making that tackle, pulling him to the ground. That's an insane play. This has always, I think, been Kader Kohou's biggest strength. Even when he's like had his struggles, he's always been very good versus the screen game. Like, he does a really good job recognizing, getting downhill, making some tackles right as they catch the ball a lot of times. He did it early on too. He also, like, versus Robert Woods, this time, like, he tries to get downhill, sees that this guy's going to cut him off, so he does a great job responding, slowing down, sees he's going to overcommit, peel off of it, and then knocks the ball out too. He forced a fumble. Unfortunately, the Texans got it back. But this is just great recognition skills, great feel for the game instincts, because some guys might just continue to shoot down to the outside path and then just get washed out of this play. If he does that, Woods could probably get upfield and maybe even get past Walker and pick up a solid game. But good job by Kohou redirecting himself, his feet, and then also knocks the ball out. Could have been a big play. Unfortunately, didn't work out for them in that situation, but Kader playing really, really well. Another play down in the red zone, this time in zone. We see Solomon Mann in the slot, similar position. He's up with Tank Dell kind of threatening him. Sees Dell's going to work into the back corner of the end zone, pass it off, find the number one, just good eyes, good discipline, stay square, peeks back to Stroud, sees one working into his zone, squeeze it to take it away, then kind of leverage a couple routes here so he could help if they dump it off to the running back. Just being in a good position to take away multiple throws, even squeezes, like, sees the running back late that Stroud might throw it to him, and he goes to that. Unfortunately, Poyer gets beat on the play for a touchdown, but Kohou's doing a good job. Here he gets matched up with Tank Dell. They're trying to throw that out to the pylon. A lot of teams are trying to do this. Like, it's one of the better things to do. Like, throw the ball to the pylon in these situations. They try to get Tank Dell in this. Looks like the Dolphins are playing quads. He gets matched up. He's the flat guy. Gets out there in position to, potentially take away that throw. He works off script. Gets his eyes back to Stroud, but he realizes, like, hey, I got to find the receiver. Turns back around, finds Tank Dell. You now are just playing man-to-man in these situations. They end up getting a sack on that play. Just really good work. I feel like in zone, he was just looking for work, which I love to see. I feel like the Dolphins have been a little lackadaisical in zone. Here, he just goes to find number one right away. Like, he's showing like he might pressure or play man-to-man on the slot. He bails out of it, goes find number one, take away that slant. Understand situation. It's another, like, 3rd and short. They want to get the ball out quickly. They're just going to quick slant, quick hitch, those types of things. He understands, like, I'm the flat defender. I want to get out there and take away that easy throw and then adjust and take away instantly, that type of thing. Love seeing, like, that aggressiveness, that sort of, really, really go-getter attitude from Kohou. So that's really good work. And then some other things, like, they've used a lot of different disguise coverages this year. One thing they love to do is, they're showing pressure here up front, but then rotate back and have the nickel, when they do this, have the nickel play as a deep half defender. So the nickel ends up going back deep half. If Holland go deep half there, and he gets, nothing really kind of threatening him vertically. Schultz breaks on the dig, and he realizes, like, hey, nothing's threatening me. He sees Stroud escaping the pocket. Follow this, carry this, understand situation, just good, smart situational awareness football. Because if he doesn't, this pass could be completed to Schultz, and now he's making that one more disrupted. Stroud misses him anyways, but if Stroud saw more of a clean window with no defender behind here, he might have made more of an easy throw. So just good situational awareness from Kohou. Here's another good example of situational awareness. Like, this was after his interception, so this is end of the game. You're up 2 scores. Niners are trying to get the ball out quick, move the ball down the field. Looks like the Dolphins are playing in, like, a cover 2 again. They're playing as, like, seam vertical. He's like that vertical hook defender. And he's kind of leveraging the number 2 and number 3 guy, but he's just reading Purdy's eyes. He sees, like, hey, this is the easier throw, the quicker throw, so I want to squeeze this one a little bit earlier. I want to be a little bit closer to this. And he sees Purdy look for that, so he just squeezes it, tries to take it away, potentially jump the throw to Kohou, maybe gives up that space to Persall, but he understands the situation. They're trying to get rid of the ball there. Purdy then has to come off of it, goes to his other check down, and ends up falling incomplete. It's just Kohou taking some risk when it's in squeezing different throws and situations, and understands, like, hey, if they do end up completing that to Persall, it's not that bad anyways. Like, they're just trying to run out the clock. So if those completions happen, but he's taking some risks and taking them in the correct situations. Here, he's the flat defender. Again, just covering what matters. They're playing quads. Quarters down in the red zone. Persall runs out to the flat instantly, but he changes directions, shifts back to the inside. Once he sees that, he squeezes it long enough, but he's also now reading through the receiver to Purdy. He sees his eyes, sees that it goes to the outside to the flat. Kohou goes off of it, knows the receiver's working back inside to help. So now he can pass that off, take away the flat option. Purdy's forced to then escape the pocket. It just feels like Kohou's looked much more comfortable in zone, knowing where to be exactly, playing with much better instincts, especially when he's playing strictly like the slot, like nickel. He hasn't been playing as many snaps recently, and I think that's because he's been playing the nickel, not as many outside snaps, and then the Dolphins are kind of running some 3 safety looks too, which, he comes off the field in those 3 safety looks. And then just like in man-to-man in this game, like he matched up in man-to-man on Jawan Jennings a few times. Jennings didn't really create any separation at all. Like he's just in the hip pocket. Knows he has help over the top. He's playing in trail, just playing the hips, undercutting throws underneath to the outside to the inside. Kohou's been very solid in those situations. And for he got his hate last season, which, it was definitely fair to criticize him for his play last year. But he's an undrafted guy that's played a lot of snaps in his first 3 seasons. And I think overall, especially when you consider where you got him as a UDFA, I think Kohou's overall has had a pretty good career for you, considering his rookie season was strong. Second year, not as good, not very good at all. But his third year, I think, has been a bounce back, especially after a bit of a slow start. And then these past 2 weeks, he's been lights out. So if you guys are there, make sure, comment, subscribe to the Zombies.